There are so many free-to-play FPS games out there, games like Finals, Valorant, Counter-Strike, Delta Force, but if you have been playing the same shooters for a while, you know the drill, same maps, same metas, and same rinse and repeat grind. So today in this video, I round out 10 awesome free brand new FPS games that you probably never played or never even heard before, and these games are very small scale indie shooters that totally flies under the radar but deliver some seriously cool and refreshing gameplay. They're all totally free to check out. You can simply go ahead and download them from Steam. So without wasting any more time guys, let's jump straight into our number 10. Alright, I'm gonna start with this awesome looking free-to-play first-person shooter called Project Hardline. Honestly, I never really knew about this game until I saw the Steam page. It's having very positive reviews, so I decided to download the game and give it a try. So it's a very simple looking low-poly first-person shooter where two teams fight over an uplink station packed with vital intel. So it is primarily a 5v5 round-based style of a shooter, but the cool part is every time your team loses a round, you come back stronger with much better weapon and gear. The gunplay actually felt pretty tight and felt good for a very smaller scale indie title like this, make it much more fast paced and engaging. But unfortunately, just like most of the free to play underrated shooters on Steam, it's depending on multiplayers and player hosted servers. Right now, honestly, not a lot of people playing the game, so it was really tricky for me to find servers, and at any given time maybe 5-10 people playing at most. But keep that aside, for a game that actually made by just a one person, it's a very impressive effort. It's totally free to check out and hopefully more people will jump in and enjoy the game. Alright, now we are moving on to another super underrated game on Steam, and it is called Nirvana. So this one is kind of a wild mix of bullet hell and first-person fast-paced action. Think of it like Doom Eternal meet Hades but with a mystical twist. And not like our previous game, this one you can play totally single player. You don't really need any internet requirements. You can play the game offline, and I'm not gonna lie, it's actually very impressive. So in this game, basically you play as a character who just awakened with some magical powers, and your mission is to take down this god called Raj. The story is very straightforward, but the gameplay is where Nirvana actually shines. It's all about the speed, precision, and dodging this barrage of attack, and also using your magical abilities at the right time. The combat actually feels super satisfying with tight controls and a great art style, but the unfortunate part is it won't stay long. You can pretty much complete the whole game within like an hour or so, but still pretty cool, totally free to check out, and also super underrated on Steam. Next up we got Toast Arena, another free-to-play arena style of a shooter that is currently in early access. So imagine a fast-paced action of a classic shooter like Quake or Unreal Tournament, but with a modern-day twist. This is another very small indie developed project. Right now offers variety of game modes for both multiplayer and a single-player campaign. In multiplayer there are free-for-all options, team battles, even a zombie infection mode. But the most difficult part is actually jumping into some of these game modes because the concurrent player count is very low. Thankfully there is a single-player kind of a campaign style of a mode also available, so you can play the game offline. The game also have an in-game level editor with Steam Workshop integration, so you can create and share your own maps with the community. All in all, it's a fun free-to-play game with a sci-fi twist, good amount of game modes, weapons, but just like most of these underrated games, the concurrent play count is super low, something you have to keep in mind. But the game is actually very much playable even if you have a low-end PC or a laptop, which is definitely a bonus. Have you guys ever heard about this brand new game called Rose? It's a very fast-paced, free-to-play roguelite arena style of a shooter with a very unique twist, and it's absolutely fun to play right now. So basically in this game you sacrifice your own body parts to gain new weapons and abilities. Each sacrifice changes how you play the game. For an instance, giving up your legs might affect your movement speed, but ultimately grant you a very powerful weapon. So it's kind of a unique risk and reward system, adds a depth to the gameplay. The arenas are also randomly generated, keeping every run fresh. You'll face waves of enemies, formidable bosses with traps and obstacles thrown at your way. And on top of everything, the game also got a super cool, unique art style, which I'm definitely a fan of. All in all, it's a pretty fun, fast-paced, challenging shooter with a very unique twist, and it is totally free to check out. And single player, you don't really need to play online or anything. If you're a fan of roguelike shooters, it's definitely worth giving it a try. Moving on to another super cool single player arena shooter with some pretty unique mechanics, and this game is called Respaced. So in this game you are trying to escape this space station overrun by hostile entities, but the twist is your gun's recoil isn't just for shooting, it is actually your main way of moving around. So you can use it to launch yourself across platforms, to higher places, even dodge enemies. It is kinda like combining a shooter with a platformer, and it is surprisingly fun. Each room you clear let you upgrade your weapons, but some of the upgrades come with trade-offs, and I have to say, with all the games that I tested for this video, I found this game the most challenging because it's gonna take some time to get used to some of these mechanics, especially use your gun's recoil to move around. It got that very stylish sci-fi vibe and also a very easy game to run if you have a low-end laptop or a PC. So if you like this style of a high fast-paced movement-based single-player shooter, Respace is a pretty cool game to check out, and I highly recommend you guys to try the game out yourself. Alright, moving on to a very fun World War II shooter that I already talked about few times in my channel, and that is Frontline Inferno. So imagine a World War II shooter, but instead of usual gritty realism, it got a vibrant, low poly, almost a cartoonish like art style. It's fast paced, chaotic and super fun to play. The game is very simple. You pick a side, Axis or Allies, and simply jump into these tight multi-layered maps. The game modes are very simple, basically team deathmatch. You jump in, you die, respawn instantly, and you're back in the action. There is no deep story, complex strategy or anything like that. It's all about quick matches, customizable characters, perfect for just wanna have some fun with your friends. And I think they recently added official service to the game, which is really cool to see. So overall, if you're in the mood for some light-hearted, fast action shooting, this one is definitely right up your alley. Next up, we got Decided, another free-to-play first-person shooter with roguelike elements set in this wild, demonic maze. It's another totally single-player game you can play offline completely, and the gameplay is very much about the speed and the precision. You get bunch of movement abilities and variety of demonic weapons to choose from. You can also create synergies between your weapons and abilities to blast through this maze. It's fast-paced and definitely keep you on your toes. There is nothing much going on with the story. You simply face off against these hordes and try to survive. It's definitely more about the action than the narrative. It's very dark, intense and fast-paced. It got that indie charm, and hopefully in the future they will add more levels to the game, because right now the game feels a bit short in my opinion. All in all, it's a very cool roguelike shooter you can play right now for absolutely free. Next up, we get another super cool shooter right now having overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, and it is a game called Straftat. It's basically a free-to-play 1v1 arena first-person shooter that throws you into these quick, intense duels across a variety of maps, and it's so much fun to play and also very challenging. It is a round-based game, so each round is basically a sudden deathmatch where one player standing wins. There are more than 100 plus maps, variants, tons of weapons, attachments, different abilities that you can choose, so no two matches ever feel the same. As soon as you jump into the round, you have to find a weapon, try to eliminate the other, and also a little bit depending on your luck as well. Visually, it looks more like a classic shooter, but the gameplay is so much fun to play. It's perfect for quick competitive matches, especially with a friend. Very easy to pick up and play, and it's also totally free to download and check out right now. Moving on to a super awesome indie game that I had so much fun playing last year, and it is Harbinger. And this one is a free-to-play boomer shooter that totally nails that 90s style first-person vibe, but with a slick modern-day polish. The gameplay is all about fast-paced, retro-inspired combat. You blast, slide, and tear through waves of monsters in these brutal arenas, and after each session you will gain crystals, which you can use to unlock more weapons and upgrade different abilities that you have, and also to unlock some of the fire soundtracks in the game. The story is a very minimalistic one, but you still find some interesting characters which will help you along the way, and also at the end there will be a boss fight, so I'm not gonna spoil anything. Pretty fun arcade arena style of a shooter you can play, and got that beautiful 90s style retro pixelated art style which I'm a big fan of. It took me around 2 hours to complete the whole game, so it's very quick and easy. So if you love this style of old school shooters, definitely give it a try on Harbinger. Alright, this gotta be the most fun and interesting FPS that I found when I was researching for this video, and it quickly became one of my favorite games from our today's list. So this one is a free-to-play, single-player, first-person shooter that feels like a throwback to classic arcade-style zombie games. You battle through 20 levels, each packed with quirky zombies. Some might sprint at you, others will explode, or sometimes they shoot lasers or throw eggs at you. It's so fun, chaotic. Honestly, it doesn't take itself too seriously. That's why I make this game so much fun to play. The gameplay is very straightforward. You collect various weapons, grenade and consumable, and try to fend off this undead while you try to make out of this town. There are different types of grenade like impact, incendiary, decoy. You can simply pick them up and use it as you like. There's also health packs, different power-up pills, which are also scattered around different levels. Visually, it looks really cool, got that cartoonish, charming vibe to it. And I would say it's more like a kid-friendly version of Left 4 Dead 2. No surprise, right now the game is having very positive reviews on Steam. It's so much fun to play. It's offline, totally free to play. If you're in the mood for some light-hearted zombie slaying action, it's an awesome game, and I highly recommend you guys to check it out right now. Well, there you have it, guys. 10 awesome brand new first-person shooter games that you probably never even heard or played before. You may not like all of these games, but I hope you find at least a couple of these games interesting, and definitely let me know down in the comment section what is your favorite from our today's list. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned to the channel as we cover pretty much all content related to free-to-play games. I'll catch you guys soon in the next one. Stay safe.